Owner-builder exemption in New Zealand. Can you design and build a house for yourself in New Zealand even if you're not a licensed building practitioner? The answer is yes, you can. But it's not a simple yes, it has its own conditions. So in today's video, I'm going to discuss the conditions to be able to qualify for owner builder, and also I'm going to share with you my own experience of building our own house under the owner builder exemption and the things that you need to think about before taking on a project as an owner builder. You can build, renovate, or repair your own house under this exemption, but you still need to meet the building code requirements, and you also have to apply for a building consent. The owner builder exemption exists to ensure that the Kiwi tradition of do-it-yourself building work can continue. You can apply for this exemption when you apply for your building consent. So there's a form which is called Form 2B. I put a screenshot of it, and you need to fill it up and tick the part of the building that you want to do as an owner builder. You also have to take it to a justice of peace and get it witnessed and signed by them. So if you're a homeowner and you qualify for this exemption, you can carry out restricted building work without being a licensed building practitioner or needing to hire a licensed practitioner to carry out the work on your building. All the building work that you do must still comply with the building code, and it will be inspected by the council as usual. So how can you qualify for an owner builder exemption? There are four main conditions. Condition 1, you have to live or intending to live in the house that you're going to build as an owner builder. This can be a batch or holiday house as well. So for example, if you're living in a city and you're going to build a batch in another city as your holiday house, under owner builder exemption, you're allowed to do it. Number 2, you either own the property by yourself or jointly with another person, or you have a beneficial legal interest in the property that the building is going to be built on. What is the legal interest? A legal interest includes being a beneficiary of a trust, a shareholder of a company, a co-owner of Maori land, or having the possession of a long-term lease, like a leasehold land. Number 3, you need to carry out the restricted building work on the building yourself and with the unpaid help from friends and family members. Number 4, you have not used the owner builder exemption to carry out the restricted building work to any other building in the past 3 years. And that 3 years is from the day the restricted building work is completed. Please note that this is for any other building, not the same building. For example, if you built a house 2 years ago as an owner builder and now you want to extend the same house or do some renovation that has restricted building work inside the house, you can still apply to do it as an owner builder again. So who can do the work? When you get this exemption, when you get the approval from the city council, you can do the work. You can get help from your friends and your family members as long as you don't pay them. If you're going to get a builder to do some parts of the work, they have to be licensed and they have to provide a record of work for you. And of course, you have to pay them. Same thing with the design part of the work. So if you feel competent enough that you can draw up the plans and provide all the documentation like specification, any other relevant things that you need to apply for a building consent, you can apply to do it yourself as an owner builder. Or if you don't have the relevant skills, you can hire an architect or a draft person to do it for you, and they need to provide you with the certificate of work that they've done for you. Any type of the work that you do on your own property using this exemption will be recorded on your LIM report by City Council. So any future buyers will have access to that sort of information, and they will know which part has been done as a DIY. In saying that, everything is going to be inspected by the council, and it's going to be approved by the council, and you will get a code of compliance for the building. This exemption applies to the restricted building work. What is restricted building work, or as they call it, ROW? It's the list of the things that can only be done by licensed building practitioner, and I'm going to make another video on this topic by itself, and when it's ready I will put a link on the screen, I don't know, somewhere here, and I will put a link in the description as well. Even though the owner-builder exemption allows you to carry out all the restricted building work on your property yourself, there are still four main things that you cannot do yourself. These are plumbing, gas fitting, drain laying, and electrical work. Now, what if you get a owner-builder exemption and start your project, and in middle of the way your conditions change and you cannot carry on, and you want to hire a builder to finish off your work? Can you do it? Yes, you can do it, but you have to go and let the council know about the change in circumstances. Same way, if you have hired a builder to do your building work, and in middle of the way you mutually agree that they want to cease the work and you want to take on the project from now on, you can go and apply for owner builder exemption from that point on. But you have to let the council know, and everything will be recorded on your LIM report for the part that they've done and you've done. What if you're a licensed building practitioner and you want to build your own house? Can you use this exemption as a licensed building practitioner? Yes, you can, but you can only apply for the part that you are not licensed for that part. For example, if you're a roofer and you want to build your own house as owner builder, you can do it, and it will be recorded as a DIY for the whole house except for the roofing part of it. For the roofing part of it, you're doing the work as a licensed building practitioner, and you have to provide a record of work for that part. Now, I've used this exemption together with my husband myself, and I have some personal experiences to share with you. Number one, do not start a project as an owner builder unless you're competent enough and that you can make sure that you can finish the project yourself. If you decide that this is not for you in middle of the way, it is not easy to go and find a builder, because honestly, no builder wants to take on a project that someone started as an owner builder. Even though if they're going to be responsible for the parts that they do, it's still risky and they're still liable for the things that they haven't seen. Number two, be prepared to be picked on by the council, because you are doing the work without a license and the council has more liability, so they want to make sure everything is going to be done properly. Number three, if you don't have enough fund yourself and you're going to apply to get a loan from the bank, it's going to be very difficult. I'm not saying it's impossible. We applied for a loan and got a loan from the bank ourselves, but you have to provide a lot of documents to prove to the bank that you are competent enough to finish this project, because at the end of the day, bank is going to share your property with you until you have paid off your mortgage. And of course, no bank wants to own a half-finished project. Number four, if you are not getting a loan from the bank, make sure you are getting a construction insurance. Now, if you are getting a loan from the bank, it is one of the conditions of the loan. You have to get an insurance, so you can't forget it. But if you are not getting a loan, you have to arrange a construction insurance yourself, because it is a risky project. Anything can happen during the construction, and you want to make sure that you are not blowing your budget on a accident like a flood or a storm. Also be aware that the construction insurance is a lot more expensive than building insurance, so you want to make sure that you're doing a good enough project management that your project is going to take as short as possible. Number five, as you might be aware, there are new exemptions coming into effect from mid-2025, and the granny flats are going to be exempted from building and resource consent. But you cannot apply for an owner builder if you are going to build a granny flat without a building consent and a resource consent. So if you're going to build it yourself, you have to get a building consent and possibly a resource consent. If you want to know more about these exemptions, I've done a video about this very topic, and I put a link here at the top of the video and also in the description. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe to support me. Bye for now.